YB Saudara Lim Guan Eng, Chief Minister of Penang, Mr. Alex Chew, Advisor of the Action Learning Set, fellow set members, ladies and gentlemen. A very good afternoon to all of you. On behalf of my colleagues, I would like to present our proposal on how workforce sector, health, social education, community services, and NGOs in Penang could continuously update and equip themselves with the latest skills and knowledge. Before we go on into the details, I would like to give an overview on action learning. Please go to the first slide. The first slide is on action learning. Now, from the action learning slide, you will see that action learning is based on the concept of learning by reflection on an experience. This will definitely come in handy for the state government because you have to deal with various groups with varied skills. There are actually 4 stages that is related to the learning cycle. You have stage 1, which is having an experience, and then you have stage 2, which is reviewing the experience, stage 3, concluding from the experiences, and stage 4, ending the stage. With all these stages, it leads to continuous learning and improvement. That is how adults learn best. The best way to learn is actually by learning through experience. And Professor Reginald Revens once said, powerful learning comes from, with and from people. He came up with this equation, L equals to P plus Q, which stands for learning is programmed knowledge and questioning to create insight. Okay, so once the concept of action learning is understood, an action learning set has to be formed to facilitate action learning. So let's go to the second slide, which talks about action learning set. My fellow set member Melinda will share with you on action learning set, which here learning by you. What she's using is an open source audio to download her voice. Can you imagine how this could be used on the various parties to facilitate learning and providing services? The next point, if you were to click on the link under the features point, my colleague will again tell you a little bit about the features, which talks about shifting from dependence until the last bullet point of learning is both defined and accidental. Okay, with this, let us move on to the third slide. The third slide is actually on action learning set. And the action learning set, we have actually sourced out and found a very good YouTube video. And to play it through, you'll be able to get a very good idea on what action learning set is all about. But I think you need to stop before 3.04. Okay, now, so let's move on to the following slide. After sharing with you on action learning and action learning set, in order for an action learning set to be effective, you need to know the attributes and skills needed by the members. Now, this is very important because if you do not form the correct action learning set members, then what's going to happen is the whole process will fail. Okay, so my colleague Hazel will actually read out to you on her attributes. At the same time, you can click on the link below, learn what personal skills is all about to enhance the action learning process. Okay. What she has done is to use YouTube. Now, for the state government, the fastest and most effective way to get your point across, especially to the teenagers who are filled with lots of questions, lots of issues, it is good to get used to using YouTube when delivering your message across to them. Now, with this, I think can move on to the next slide, which is slide number 4, which states establishment of working agreement. Now, the establishment of the working agreement is very important because through the action learning set, you need to set ground rules as well as roles and responsibilities. We have actually did a video taping as well as downloading it onto YouTube, and you can see that this is a very effective way. You need not be present physically, but people can still see you and know what you're trying to deliver to them. In this case, it is on set ground rules as well as the roles and responsibilities. If we were to move on to the following slide, when we are going to establish working agreement, the other thing that is important is actually on expectations. Everyone has to contribute in the discussion and to provide support to any members lagging behind. The second point would be membership is also equally important. Try not to get too big a group, because if not, then you will have difficulties in controlling the discussion. Participants are known as set is an important role whereby the set advisor will help members to identify and develop necessary skills. As we move on to the fifth point, which is on establishment of operational framework, what is highlighted here is, number 1, when to meet. This has got to be based on a group consensus. Sometimes it's quite difficult to get everybody to agree on a single time, but this is very important to do it. The second point is on how to communicate. So from our group, we have actually used personally all the 6 bullet points on Skype, email, ELate, blog, MindMaster, wikis. There is a video link on your right hand side. You can actually click on the link and you'll be able to see all things. Our slide is actually done by one of our set member, ELearning. Okay. If we were to move on to the last slide, the last slide actually talks about what's the group agenda. So group agenda is rather important. You need to set questions first, know what are your goals and objectives, as well as the actions. If not, what you will find is the discussion will go on and on and on without achieving your set goals and objectives. Now, how to document? This is what we are doing now. Currently, through audio, we are actually using Audacity to tape up the online discussion. The video session, I believe Melinda is using Camtasia to do it. And the text, based on our online discussion through Skype, one of our team members will actually save our written discussion as well. Last of all would be our blogs. So blogs can actually be used as a personal journal showing our learning experience as well as our learning process. So because of the fact that people can actually provide feedbacks, provide comments in the blog, this will come in handy for a particular person to improve on herself or himself. Okay, I believe another set member, Hazel, will actually share with you on the benefits on action learning, as well as how to what is the benefits of doing e-learning. On to you, Hazel.